Cowboys Nation, buckle up, because things are getting real in Dallas. We're talking breaking news, trade rumors flying around like confetti, and a possible blockbuster deal that could reshape the entire offensive identity of the Dallas Cowboys. It's not just smoke, it's fire. The Courtland Sutton to Dallas rumor is heating up again, and this time, it's got some serious traction. If you've been waiting for the Cowboys front office to finally make a move that screams urgency, this might just be it. Sutton, a Texas native and a dominant red zone threat, might be the answer to a question that's been haunting the Cowboys for years. Who can step up and be the true number 2 behind CeeDee Lamb? Who can give Dak Prescott another reliable weapon in crunch time? Well, the Broncos might just be ready to answer that call, and it's the Cowboys who could be on the other end of the line. Let's talk about what we know so far. The Dallas Cowboys have made no secret about their desire to find a dynamic, explosive second receiver. COO Stephen Jones has said it repeatedly this offseason. They're not just window shopping, they're looking to buy. And while they've done their due diligence in scouting the wide receiver talent in this year's NFL draft, including names like Arizona's Teteroa McMillan and Texas' Matthew Golden, there's something different about Courtland Sutton. This isn't a rookie you're rolling the dice on. This is a proven, physical, big-bodied wideout with years of NFL experience, and he's still just 29 years old. The kind of guy who knows how to get open, who knows how to win contested catches, and who knows what it takes to survive and thrive in the league. He checks every box the Cowboys are looking to fill, and most importantly, he could be available right now. Now let's rewind a bit and get into how we even got to this point. Courtland Sutton has been on the Broncos trade block for at least the past year or two. It's not exactly a secret. Denver has been quietly shopping him while trying to figure out what direction their franchise is headed in. And last offseason, there was even a mini standoff between Sutton and the Broncos. He wanted a new deal. They weren't budging. So Sutton, in protest, skipped some of the team's voluntary workouts. That's not the kind of thing that just gets swept under the rug. There's tension there, and it's clear Sutton wants either a new commitment or a fresh start. That's where the Cowboys come in. Because now, with the NFL draft just around the corner, trade talks are back on the table, and Denver is making calls. ESPN's Adam Schefter recently reported that the Broncos are actively exploring a trade-up scenario from their current position at number 20 in the draft. That might sound like just another draft headline, but dig a little deeper, and it tells you everything you need to know. When a team is making calls to move up, they're usually doing one of two things: targeting a specific player or trying to create flexibility to make a big move. And in this case, both could be true. Denver might want to get into the top 15, and guess who's sitting right at pick number 12? That's right, the Dallas Cowboys. This isn't just speculation. Broncos GM George Paton has publicly acknowledged that trade talks are happening, saying, "We've made calls this week, you make a lot of calls, and then next week are the more serious calls." Translation: they're laying the groundwork for a deal, and Dallas is in a prime position to benefit. Here's where things get really interesting. The Cowboys are reportedly open to trading back from pick 12. Stephen Jones himself has mentioned it as a real possibility. And if Dallas is truly serious about building a contender this season, this is the kind of move that makes sense. Imagine this: Dallas trades down from pick 12 to pick 20, swaps picks with Denver, and in the process, lands Courtland Sutton. That's not just a smart move, that's a bold move. It gives the Cowboys a proven weapon at wide receiver and still allows them to target a top-tier running back or offensive lineman at 20. It's a 2-for-1 deal that sets the team up for immediate success, and it doesn't require sacrificing future draft capital. Now, let's not pretend there aren't hurdles to clear. The biggest one? Sutton's contract. Right now, he's sitting on a deal that pays him roughly $20 million per year. That's not cheap, and for a team like Dallas that's already navigating cap challenges, it's not something they can just absorb without thinking it through. But here's the wild card: Sutton might be willing to restructure. He's a Texas kid born and raised in Brenham, and there's something special about coming home. If Sutton truly wants to wear the star and catch passes from Dak Prescott in front of friends and family, there's a very real chance he could be willing to work with the Cowboys on a new deal that makes financial sense for both sides. And if that happens, this deal becomes a no-brainer. Let's talk fit for a second, because Courtland Sutton isn't just a big name, he's a perfect match for what the Cowboys need. At 6'4", he brings size that Dallas simply doesn't have at the position outside of CeeDee Lamb. He's a red zone weapon, the kind of guy who can go up and get it when the game is on the line. And he plays with a physicality that makes defenses uncomfortable. Think back to all the times last season when the Cowboys stalled out inside the 20. Think about those 3rd and goal situations where everything felt forced. Sutton changes that. He gives Dak a go-to target in tight windows. He makes life easier for Lamb. And most importantly, he adds an edge to the offense that's been missing. From a scheme standpoint, Mike McCarthy would have a field day with Sutton in the lineup. You can line him up outside, put Lamb in the slot, and suddenly you've got matchups all over the field. Defensive coordinators won't be able to double Lamb every snap. And with Jake Ferguson continuing to develop at tight end and a hopefully rejuvenated run game, this offense could finally become the balanced, explosive unit fans have been dreaming of. Adding Sutton isn't just about getting better on paper, it's about changing the entire dynamic of how this team attacks. But let's not forget what this move signals to the rest of the league. If Dallas pulls off a trade for Sutton, it's a statement. It's a message to the NFC and beyond that this team isn't content with early playoff exits and hollow regular season wins. It says we're serious. We're here to compete for a Super Bowl. And for a fan base that's grown tired of conservative moves and missed opportunities, that kind of message would be a breath of fresh air. It's the kind of bold, aggressive thinking that championship teams are built on. Now let's dive into some of the logistics here, because a trade of this magnitude doesn't happen in a vacuum. Denver wants to move up, and Dallas holds the key. That puts the Cowboys in a position of leverage, and they need to use it. Whether it's getting Sutton straight up for the pick swap or adding additional draft capital in the process, Dallas needs to make sure they maximize value. The front office has often been criticized for playing it too safe, for sticking to their board no matter what. But this is the kind of opportunity where you break from tradition and do what's best for the team in the moment. And let's be real, this team doesn't have the luxury of waiting anymore. The NFC isn't getting any easier. The Eagles are reloading. The 49ers are stacked. The Packers are on the rise. If the Cowboys want to keep pace, they need to strike now. Adding Courtland Sutton and still coming away from the draft with a top running back or offensive lineman is the kind of win-now move that could make all the difference. Because make no mistake, this window won't stay open forever. Dak Prescott is entering the back half of his prime. CeeDee Lamb is due for a massive extension. Micah Parsons is about to break the bank. The time to go all in is now. And let's not overlook the intangibles. Sutton is a locker room guy. He's respected by his peers. He brings leadership, experience, and toughness. Those are the kinds of qualities that elevate a team from good to great. Young guys like Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks would benefit immensely from his presence. He becomes a mentor, a tone setter, and a playmaker all in one. That's not something you can always get from a rookie, no matter how talented they are. So where do we go from here? Well, keep your eyes on draft night. If the Cowboys trade back from 12, don't be surprised if Sutton's name is attached. This isn't just noise, it's building momentum. The pieces are all on the board. The question now is whether Jerry and Stephen Jones are ready to make the move. And if they are, watch out. Because this could be the trade that changes everything. And that's where you come in, Cowboys Nation. What do you think? Should Dallas make the move for Courtland Sutton? Would you be willing to drop from 12 to 20 if it meant adding a proven weapon like him to the offense? Or would you rather roll the dice on a rookie wideout and keep the draft capital intact? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'll be in there chopping it up with y'all, breaking it down, and seeing where the fan base stands. This is the kind of off-season move that defines a franchise. It's bold. It's risky. But it might just be exactly what the Cowboys need to get over the hump. Courtland Sutton to Dallas? Don't sleep on it. Because if this deal gets done, the NFL better be ready. The Cowboys are coming.